Alright guys, welcome back to part 2 of Shadow on the Sand, the Lone Wolf adventure. Written by Joe Dever. In the last episode, we came to this land of Vasagonia to meet the Zhakan, but he turns out to have died and a new Zhakan has taken his place. And it turns out that this new Zhakan has been working with our mortal enemy, one of the Darklords, trying to search for the Book of the Magnified. Yeah, and they're plundering. They stole our equipment, and the Darklords are plundering and grave robbing these guys looking for that book. So what we decided to do is we're going to raid them back. As well as look for our equipment,
we're going to counter plunder them.
Yeah, now it's a race to see who can plunder the most. Captain Toad's treasure tracker, eat your heart out. We're tracking the treasure in this book. So part 2 of Shadow on the Sand, we're going to begin right now. And obviously here's Karzie with us once again.
Hello.
So we actually managed to make it through that first part of the book pretty unscathed, thanks to our healing ability. So let's begin at part 2.
Yeah, we're already back up there. We didn't even have to pop a potion or anything.
Yeah.
I thought we would have to pop a potion. We started getting low. I was getting worried.
Alright, suddenly you catch sight of 2 warriors creeping towards you from a passage to your right. They are clad in jet black armor and scarlet robes, and their hideous death masks identify them as Drakar warriors. They are men, but they are evil as evil as the Dark Lords whom they serve. One of them holds a razor-fanged Akataz, a creepy leathery war dog, straining on a chain leash. The Drakar hisses and the Akataz springs towards your throat. If you wish to fight the creature, turn to 273. If you wish to try to evade the attack and escape, turn to 285. We should save at this point as well. Got to save.
I don't think we can outrun a war dog.
Alright.
Just saying.
Let's fight. Can you read?
It's still blurry. No.
The Akataz leaps through the air at your face. You fall backwards, kicking with both feet, but you are winded as the war dog jolts the air from your lungs. It slashes your shoulder, lose 1 endurance. Before cartwheeling over the edge of the stairs, its howl cuts short as it smashes into the marble floor of the lower palace. You spring to your feet and draw your weapon, for the Drakarim are running toward you. A terrible roar of hate and rage fills the hall. Kill him! The Drakarim unsheath their black swords, eager to obey their master's command. They attack you simultaneously. So we can evade the combat at any time by running into the adjoining passage. But we can kick their ass, no problem. Oh my god, look at the bonuses.
Oh yeah, we are badass.
20 goddamn combat ratio. And we still roll shit.
Oh, warriors, we're a Kai savant!
There we go, this is a kill. Boom! And they're dead. You see it? Can you read?
No.
You glimpse the silhouette of Darklord Zhakan in the hall below. His spiked fist raised. There's a deafening crack as a bolt of blue lightning streaks from a stone in the Darklord's hand and hurtles towards you. You dive for cover behind the body of the Drakar as the bolt explodes. In a flash of light, the Drakar is gone. Only cinders and the rotten odor of scorched flesh remain. You scramble to your feet and sprint along the passage. Another bolt hurtles from the hall, tearing into the ceiling with shattering effect. Splinters of razor-sharp marble whistle down, slashing your cloak and tunic. You race down some stairs, through a silver archway, and along a balcony that overlooks the lower palace. A peal of bells and the crunch of iron-shod boots echo in your ears. The Zhakan has sounded the alarm. His guards close in on every side. At the end of the balcony is another arch and a staircase. Both look deserted. If you wish to escape through the arch, turn to 381. If you wish to race up the stairs, 317.
We don't have any hint on which way to go, so it's just kind of a 50-50 shot.
But remember, our goal is to find the Magnified book, and we know it's in the crypt somewhere. So if we go up the stairs, I doubt that's going to be where a crypt is.
Yeah, because a crypt would be downstairs, right?
Yeah. I think we should go through the arch, in my opinion.
Okay. That's a good idea. Still blurry.
You run through the arch and straight into a black-robed palace guard. You bruise your ribs and the impact throws you off balance, but you manage to grab the wall to stop yourself from falling over. The guard lies sprawled upon the floor, but with incredible swiftness, he draws a shining steel axe and lashes out at your legs. Pick a number, and if you have high discipline of hunting, add 2 to the number you picked. Fucking hell.
So we got 2. Okay. Still blurry.
The axe bites deeply into your calf, making you cry out in pain and surprise. Lose 3 endurance points. However, before the god can strike again, you lash out, sending the axe spinning from his hand. He howls, clutching broken fingers to his chest. Gritting your teeth, you hobble away towards an open door. The air is alive with the sound of pounding feet, but the Grand Palace is now on full alert. Both the Drakarim and a palace guard are bent on finding you. Their lives will be forfeit if they fail. Beyond the door, a bridge rises over an enclosed garden, joining the palace to a needle-like tower of white marble. At the entrance to the bridge, a narrow stair disappears into the garden below. If you wish to cross the bridge and enter the tower, turn to 396. If you decide to descend the stair that leads to the garden below, turn to 215.
We're looking for a crypt. That sounds like it'd be near a garden, right?
Yeah, I suppose. Alright, let's go there.
That would be my guess.
At the bottom of the stairs, a wooden door braced with iron blocks the entrance to the scented garden. Frantically, you twist the handle, but it does not open. The door is closed. The door is locked. Then, a couple of palace guards appear on the bridge above. They see you and unsling their heavy crossbows. If you possess a copper key, turn to 246. If you do not, you can try to climb over the door. Alternatively, you can run back up the stairs and attempt to attack the guards before they load and fire their crossbows. Well, we have a copper key. Let's use it.
Yeah.
Using the copper key, you unlock the door and hurry into the garden. Not a moment too soon. As the heavy door swings shut, you hear crossbow bolts ricocheting from the bands of studded iron. The enclosed garden is filled with the fragrance of exotic shrubs and trees, which cluster around a sculptured pool of deep blue water. It is a beautiful sight, but you dare not stop to enjoy it. The Drakarim and the palace guards know where you are, and you must keep moving if you are to escape them. Beyond a tree-lined colonnade, a flight of steps ascends to a small portal in the wall of the upper palace. To your right, a leafy tunnel winds away into the trees and shrubs. If you possess the Kai discipline of tracking, turn to 220. So this will tell us which way to go.
Alright, tracking awesome.
Your Kai sense of tracking reveals that the winding path leads into the Zhakan's Arboretum, his cathedral of trees. The stairs to the portal lead to a private chamber in the upper palace, but you still cannot tell what the chamber contains. Private chamber. Might have some goodies in there. I feel like raiding tonight. So let's go to the portal.
Alright, I guess we're going raiding.
Beyond the portal lies a vaulted corridor leading to a grand stairway. You narrowly avoid confrontation with a dozen Drakarim, saved by your lightning reactions. As the enemy rush from an archway on the second floor landing, you dive behind a statue of the recently deceased Zhakan, Modilla. They are so intent on their chase that they fail to notice your hiding place, and hurry down the stairs, grunting in their heavy armor as they run. Silently, you give thanks that Zhakan Modilla was a very stout man, and his statue casts a very large shadow in which to hide. At the top of the stairway, you discover a hatch, which gives access to the roof. You climb through it, and follow a path of sun-bleached tiles that wind in and out of the domes and turrets, eventually leading to a bell tower. You're exhausted and need to rest, your mind still full of the shock of your encounter with Darklord Zhakan. The sound of his terrible voice repeating the words, Book of the Magna Kai, echoes again and again in your mind. With desperation sapping your will, you peer out through a grille in the bell tower. The sight before you renews your flagging hope, for it inspires a daring escape plan.
Hopefully it's through the crypts, because that's what we want.
Below the bell tower, you see a line of Itakar pens, each with its own circular landing platform. Itakar are a breed of huge black birds that nest in eyries, high in the peaks of the Dahira and Vakar mountains. Oh, I was thinking it was like fountain pen. It's more like a pig pen, but for birds. The Vasagonians have long since tamed these giants of the skies, using them as winged mounts for their army leaders, their scouts, couriers, and envoys. An Itakar and rider swoop down out of the reddening sky and alight upon the platform nearest to the bell tower. Slaves hurl a rope to the rider, who in turn fixes it to a saddle ring before he jumps to the ground. The Itakar caws and beats its huge rings as it's slowly winched onto the pen by a hidden capstan. The rider and the slaves leave the platform. There is now only one sentry on guard at the pen. If you can overpower him, you can make your escape on the back of the giant bird. If you possess a blowpipe and sleep dart, turns 325. If you do not have these items, turns 282.
Since when could we get a blowpipe and a
Probably
sleep
some other choice that
dart?
we never got to.
Oh.
You leave the bell tower and make your way down towards the sentry. At first, dodging from one turret to the next, it is easy to remain unseen. However, for the final 30 yards to the landing platform, you will have no cover, for the platform and the palace roof are linked by an exposed gangplank. If you are to overpower the sentry, you must cross the gangplank undetected. If you have Mind Over Matter, 295. If you don't possess the skill, pick a number from the random number table, and if we've got Hunting or Camouflage, we can add 2 to the number, and if we've reached the Kai rank of Warmon, we can higher or higher add 3. So we don't need to do random number, we can use Mind Over Matter.
Which is what we just got, so
Good
it
choice.
became useful.
Although there was another option for Camouflage, but...
Yeah, so we kind of lost a useful option, but hey.
yeah, it's fine. Camouflage avoids
We just
fights,
beat up the
but
guard.
If we beat up
Yeah.
the guards, we get to search their bodies. Speaking
Yeah.
of which,
We get the loot.
focusing your skill on
I
a
can
money
read.
pouch. Oh, you can read.
On a money pouch that hangs from the sentry's belt, you concentrate on untying the leather thong that secures it. Thong.
Not that
Seconds
kind of
later, the pouch drops to the ground and spills its contents. The guard yelps in horror and sees his gold rolling over the edge of the platform and drops to his knees to gather what little remains. As he turns his back, you break cover and run across the gangplank. Your speed and stealth carry you across the gangplank undetected. When you strike, the guard is still on his knees picking up his scattered gold. Your attack is silent and deadly. If you wish to search the guard's body, go there. If you wish to ignore the body, go there.
You know we're gonna search that body.
Oh, yeah, of course.
8
I
gold
can actually
crowns?
read this one. You discover little of interest, 8 gold crowns and a brass whistle on a chain around the guard's neck. You may take these if you wish, but remember to mark them on your action chart. Suddenly, a noise alerts you to an unwelcome company. Drakim are rushing along the tiled pathway that leads to the pens. Without a moment's hesitation, you turn and run inside the Iktar's enclosure. And now it's back to blurry.
The great black
So it's all
bird
you.
beats its massive wings, cawing hoarsely through the domed pen. 2 black eyes, fierce and cold, fix you with a deadly stare as you edge nearer to its perch. Grabbing the saddled pommel, you hold yourself up, but suddenly there is a flash of razor-sharp talons. Instinctively, you shield your face as a glint of orange sunlight is caught on its car's curved beak, for it slashes the air barely inches above your head. If you have the Kai discipline of animal kinship, turns 308. If you possess an onyx medallion, turns 319. If you possess neither the Kai discipline nor the special item, pick a number, and if we've reached the Kai rank of aspirant, we can add 2 to the number. Okay, so Onyx Medallion was in the last book, and we missed out on getting that. But
Aww.
we've got Animal Kinship, so the Onyx Medallion can only replaces it in one instance, which is now. So we've got Animal Kinship, so we're
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. All you.
It can take many years for a rider to tame an Itakar, for by nature they are wild and malicious creatures. You use your Kai skill to communicate with the giant bird, to assure it that you mean no harm. It fixes you with a cold black stare, but you sense that it is no longer hostile. As you settle in its wide saddle, you catch sight of the Drukarim as they stream across the gangplank. Quickly, you lean forward, unhook the anchor up from the saddle ring, and grab the thick leather reins. So we're basically Dr. Dolittle with these animal kinship abilities.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to insert a clip, a relevant clip.
A Dr. Dolittle clip.
I was thinking The Simpsons and Chief Wiggum singing, "If I can walk with
I was-
the animals, talk with the animals."
I was thinking the little guinea pig from the Dr.
Oh, Chris
Dolittle
Rock.
movie with Eddie Murphy. Yeah,
Okay,
do a
yeah.
little dance, make a little love, get down tonight, get down tonight.
Speaking of which, you know Robert Downey Jr. I think he's making a Dr. Dolittle film now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and his wife is producing
Wow.
it. Well, you know. Anyway, I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, hey, 'cause it'll be a movie, all right.
All right. You are jerked backwards in the saddle as the Itakar leaves its perch. It shrieks and caws, its wings beating as loud as thunder. A handful of Drukarim are scattered as if they were ragdolls as the great black bird emerges from the pen and takes to the sky. You catch a glimpse of a Drukar, his death mask slashed in two, by the bird's razor-sharp talons as he pitches from the landing platform and tumbles to his death in the palace gardens far below. Take a look at that picture. Haha, prick. The golden domes of the Grand Palace grow smaller as the Ithakar gathers speed. Soon, you have passed over the city wall and are heading out towards the shimmering salt flats of the Lake Inrahim. The land below is bathed in beautiful orange twilight, as the sun slowly sinks behind the Dahir Mountains to the west. Elated by your escape, you throw back your head and give voice to a triumphant yell that is carried away on a chill evening wind. Yahoo! I imagine that's how we sounded. Or fuck you! Anyway, as if in answer to your cry, an echoing chorus of shrieks pierce the sky. Fear returns to your heart as you catch sight of a flock of Kran, hideous leathery wing flyers. Each carries a Zhakan warrior on its back. They are over a mile behind you, but they are quickly closing the gap. Less than an hour of light remains. If you can evade them a little longer, you may be able to lose them when night falls. You must decide in which direction to fly, but you are now above the center of Lake Inrahim. Consult the map before making your decision. Good call. Southland. So we're above the lake.
Okay.
So we were Lake Inrahim. So if we're gonna go towards the Dahir Pass or Chula, there's Chula.
Okay.
What was the other place called? I forgot now. There's the lake.
Dolan Pass, I think?
Dahir Pass, over here. Yeah, so Dahir Pass is here, Chula's here, and we're above the lake. And Barakish, where we just escaped from, is here.
Now, the real question is, where is the crypt that has the book?
Good question.
Alright, so
Chula's
which
right
place
here.
sounds cooler?
Well, I mean, Chula's a town, and we could spend our money here. But the Dahir Pass probably is where the crypts are, if they're, like, in mountains or something.
I'm gonna leave this one up to you.
We
do
haven't
you
spent any
think?
money. I think we should go Chula.
Okay.
Oh, it's called Dahir Pass, that's it. But let's go towards the town Chula. Because if we start flying for too long, they'll catch up with us as well. So maybe we can lose them in Chula.
Yeah. Maybe. You're right. We do need cover.
You can clearly see the main highway that links Chula to the capital. It crosses the desolate salt plain of Lake Inrahim by means of a causeway 30 feet high and is a useful landmark by which you can steer. Little stone houses with beaten earth roofs are grouped in small clusters along the highway, their numbers increasing as you draw nearer to the town. You are 5 miles from Chula when you notice a dark cloud hovering several hundred feet above one of the small villages. It's a cloud of Kran. They are moving to intercept you. Suddenly, Ithakar squeals in pain, and a splash of feathers billows out from under its wing. A Kran has closed in from behind. It is less than 100 yards distant. The Skyrider holsters an empty bronze crossbow and draws his black sword. His bolt has passed through the wing of your mount, and he prepares to strike as the Ithakar loses height and speed. So we're going to have to fight it. The Kran and its rider are swooping on you from behind. You will only be able to fight for one round of combat before they are carried past by the momentum of their attack. It's one of those where whoever loses more endurance points is going to win, probably.
So we are jousting in the air.
Jousting in the air. Well, we've got a shit ton of skill. We're jousting in the air, so there. Oh shit! Bad enough. Well, I think we're gonna do more damage to him anyway.
Yeah.
So if we lose more endurance points in this one round combat, 347. If the enemy loses more, 327. And if we lose exactly the same, 271. So we were guaranteed to get the most anyway, even with the 1.
Unless we didn't have our equipment.
Yeah, that's true. Then I wouldn't have fucking flew away. I would have.
Let's get the hell out of here.
Fuck this shit. Alright. Your blow has opened a wide gash in both the Zhakan and his mount. The Kran spins uncontrollably, discarding its black-clad rider as it spirals earthwards. With the terrible cries of the doomed Zhakan fading below, you wheel to the south to avoid being caught between the two converging squadrons of Kran riders. The quick change of direction increases the distance between you and your pursuers, but the Ithakar is badly wounded and you're close to despair. Your mount is losing so much blood that it could lapse into unconsciousness at any moment, dropping you like a stone onto Lake Inrahim. Suddenly, you spot something in the distance. It is a sight that renews your faith in miracles. I believe in miracles. Anyway.
You sexy thing.
You sexy babe. Okay. Emerging from the bank of a cloud on the skyline is a flying ship. It is a small craft no bigger than an Unoram river barge, with 2 triangular sails swept back either side of its curving prow. In the fading twilight, you can make out a long pennant that flutters from its mast. A faint humming reaches your ears. Your first reaction is disbelief. What you are seeing must be a trick of the light or some fiendish illusion created by the Darklords. However, as the ship floats nearer, your senses tell you that it is indeed quite real. If you possess a crystal star pendant, turn to 336. If you don't have the special item, turn to 275. So we can turn to 336 if we ever have received it, regardless of whether or not we possess it now. So remember, this is Banedon, the crystal star pendant.
Yeah, this is the pendant we got from the wizard.
Yep.
And then we got another one from another wizard, didn't we?
Did we get another one? No, we met another wizard in the other book.
Oh.
It asked us if we had the pendant at that time as well, because it's part of that magician storyline. Anyway, standing at the fortified platform in the center of the strange craft is a blonde-haired young man with a deep brooding eyes. Instantly, you recognize him. It's Banedon, the young Somlend magician who gave you the crystal star pendant at the ruins of Romus after you saved his life in the Giek ambush. You are so stunned by his unexpected appearance that you fail to notice the blood seeping from the Itakar's mouth. The creature is near to death. Suddenly, the great bird lets out a pitiful and agonized caw. Its wings stiffen and its head falls limp as the last flicker of life escapes from its torn body. It pitches you forward, and your stomach heaves as you plummet towards Lake Inrahim. Pick a number. Oh my god, I'm gonna save here. That 9 is not looking good. If it's 0 to 4,
I feel like we just kind of Yoshi ditched this bird.
Yep. We got 0 to 4. Hopefully that's a good number.
Oh, I'd be more worried about 9.
Yeah. As you tumble earthwards, a blur of color flashes before your eyes as the Kron Riders, the skyship, and the distant horizon all melt into a kaleidoscope of shapes and images, which you feel will be the last things you will ever see. You prepare yourself for death and are calm and relaxed, when suddenly you feel your body entwined by a massive sticky fibers. There is a terrific jolt, which leaves you breathless and stunned. The impossible is happening. You are no longer falling, but rising? A net of clinging strands has caught you like a fly in a web. You rise up into the sky towards the flying ship as quickly as you fell. 3 bearded dwarves, clad in bright, padded battle jerkins, pull you aboard an outrigger that runs the length of the hull. However, there is no time to express your gratitude, for the small skyship is under attack from the Kron Riders. At the end of the outrigger, a dwarf is engaged in hand-to-hand combat with a snarling Drakar. He's obviously losing. As you rush to his aid, another of the evil warriors lands in the center of the craft and on top of the fortified platform. If you wish to help the dwarf, turn to 280. If you wish to leap from the outrigger onto the platform, turn to 361.
Oh, I say let's help the dwarf.
Okay.
I can actually read this. The Drakar is strangling the dwarf. As he catches sight of you, he releases his grip and smashes his mailed fist into the dwarf's face, sending him tumbling into space. Send him tumbling into space. He literally team rocketed that little dwarf away. You are inflamed by this cold-blooded murderer. You draw your weapon and attack.
Alright,
Due to the speed of your attack, do not deduct any of your own endurance points in the first round of combat. So we take no damage on the first round.
Guy's going down. How dare he kill
these...
Sleepy? I'm guessing it's one of the 7 dwarfs, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Sleepy is one of the 7. I've actually never seen Snow White. But I think Sleepy is one of it.
Or Dark.
Off the work we go.
The Drakar falls to his knees and makes a horrible rasping noise as he tries in vain to prise open his shattered death mask. Your blows have staved in his helm and the buckled metal has fractured his skull. You lash out with your foot and kick him from the outrigger, sending him spiraling down to Lake Inrahim to join the dwarf he murdered. But the dwarf is neither dead nor hundreds of feet below. He hangs by his foot, unconscious, snagged in the netting below the outrigger boards. You grab the dwarf's leg and haul him to safety before continuing the fight. The platform looks empty. No heads are showing above its armored parapet. You sense something is wrong. Instinctively, you leap from the outrigger onto the main hull, your weapon poised to strike. Can you read?
Nope.
Ducking beneath the boom sail, you clamber onto the platform in time to witness a desperate struggle. The blonde-haired magician is pinned to the deck, his left arm skewered by a spear. But we know his name's Banedon, so why is it saying... Oh, it's probably just some generic in case we don't know him.
Yeah.
With a staff in his right hand, he is trying to fend off the dismounted Crown Rider. The Drakar senses your presence. He whirls round and draws a twisted black scimitar from its scabbard. Got another combat? Oh, we gotta win it in 3 rounds or less.
Uh-oh. Alright,
We've
we
got
can
enough
do
combat skill
this.
to do it. We're gonna have 20.
Yeah, I think we... As long as we roll decently, I think we could do it.
I'll get 5s and above. Yes, that's a good number. That might be a kill. It's a kill. Just about.
Oh my god! We one-shot him?
Yep.
Wow. Still you.
The Drakar curses you with his dying breath. Fuck you! His cry fading as he falls from the platform. You rush to aid your wounded countrymen, but the battle is not yet over. The Crown Rider is swooping towards you, a crossbow leveled at your head. He fires and the bolt shoots towards your face. Then a shrill, metallic whine rings in your ears as the bolt miraculously ricochets away, deflected by an invisible shield. Again, if we could possess a crystal star pendant, 309. Oh, I guess that page is going to introduce him if you don't know him. The other one. Banedon lowers his staff, the trace of a wry smile on his pain-racked face. Alas, I was too slow to protect myself, Lone Wolf, he says, glancing at his arm. You kneel at his side and free the spear that pins him to the floor. The wound is serious. Hastily, you staunch the bleeding with strips of cloth torn from his dark blue robes. You recognize the robes, for they are the attire of a journey master. It seems that young Banedon has achieved distinction among his brother magicians since you last met.
Promotion!
Yeah. I mean, it's been 4 books, so you better have.
Yeah, we're a savant now. He
Yeah,
better have done something.
Get on our level, mate.
Yeah. Why aren't you a savant? God.
Been slacking off. Why? Anyway, it appears we are fated to meet in their company, he says, still watching the Crown Riders anxiously. Help me to my feet. We must escape before they drag us from the sky. You support the magician as he grasps the ship's helm, a radiant crystal sphere with hundreds of glowing facets set on a slim silver rod. No sooner has his hand closed around the crystal than there is a tremendous explosion.
Kaboom.
The explosion is followed by a huge cloud of smoke, which engulfs a cabin perched on the rear deck. As the noise rumbles across the desolate salt plain, you hear the agonizing shriek of the wounded Kran. It spirals past the platform, a ragged hole rent in its broken wing. The hell is this dude?
The dwarf that shot him.
Has he got a quill pierced into his... Is that his hat? What was his head? Yeah, it's a hat. It's a hat.
So fucked up. Well, he looks like his
got
eyes
one
are about
crooked
to
tooth
roll
here.
to the back of his back to his head.
Like he's having a little
Yeah,
orgasm
that
there.
one crooked tooth.
Oh my
too.
god, that's like a phallic symbol. It's like his dick and he's like jerking off. That's his orgasm face.
Oh my god, it's everywhere. It's
Anyway.
behind my head and everything.
Sorry about that graphic imagery.
Now all you can do is
demonetized
just stare
now.
at that picture and imagine that with that face, that O face.
Okay, so the smoke clears to reveal the grinning face of a dwarf at the cabin window. A smear of soot blackens his rosy cheeks and exaggerates the whiteness of his crooked teeth. He is holding a tube of smoking steel that you assume to be a magic staff, until you notice that each of the dwarf crew carry identical staves. As they point them at the swooping Kran, gouts of smoke and flame bellow from their tips. Suddenly, you recognize the weapons and their wielders. They are dwarves from the mountain kingdom of Bor, armed with one of their inventions for which these ingenious artisans are justly famous throughout Magnamon. It's a gun.
Yep.
And they're gonna hold it sideways. Yo, bop, 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 bop.
Damn, these dwarves be gangsta, yo!
The Kran are terrified by the noise. They turn their leathery tails and fly away, their Drakar riders powerless to stop them. The primitive guns have claimed only one victim, but nevertheless, they have driven off the enemy and saved the skyship from disaster. Banedon steers the craft about, banking steeply until the ship faces the darkening peaks of the southern mountains and the distinct V-shaped cleft of the Dahir Pass. Pick a number. That's a bit of a random one. 0 to 2 and 3 to 9. Okay.
Yeah, it is. I'm still worried about that 9.
Yeah.
Oh, that's... Never mind. This is a new page.
The dwarves are clearing the deck of the battle debris. A dead Drakar lies sprawled face down across the pile of chests and sacks roped beneath the boom sail. As the dwarves grab his legs to cast him over the side, he suddenly springs to life, sending the dwarves tumbling in all directions. He screams like a fiend, his black axe cutting a wide arc around his blood-smeared body. A curse, vile and evil, echoes from his death mask as he draws back the axe to throw at you. His target is you. If you have the Kai discipline of hunting or sixth sense, turn to 210, and if not, pick a number. And there's another 9 on there.
Yeah.
So we've got the skills. You dive aside, your Kai skill saving you from the axe that is spinning toward the platform. Suddenly, a deafening bang rings out and the Drakar is flung backwards, his breastplate torn open by a dwarf shot. He gives a long, agonizing death cry as he disappears from sight, tumbling into the darkness that surrounds the speedy skyship. As if in answer to the shot, a menacing roll of thunder rumbles across the darkening plain from Barakish. It is as if the city itself were cursing your escape. Fuck you, lone wolf! Fuck you!
Ragnar Lokar, okay?
Banedon appears at your side, his face lined with concern. As he offers a shaky hand to help you to your feet, you notice that the makeshift bandage which binds his wound is soaked with blood. He is pale and weak and close to collapse. If you've got healing, 377. If not, 339.
Healing.
Clasping your hands around Banedon's injured arm, you concentrate your Kai skill on healing the torn muscle and splintered bone. The warmth of your healing power numbs the pain and repairs the internal damage sufficiently to be able to remove the blood-soaked strips of cloth. The wound is still open, but you've saved the limb. "We'll help him now, Lone Wolf!" shouts a strange voice. You are surprised by this bold claim and turn around to discover who has made it. 2 dwarves clamber onto the platform and hurry to their young captain's side. One flicks open a red velvet satchel strapped to his barrel-like chest and removes a glass vial and a clean linen bandage. They attend to the wound, and, as his strength returns, Banedon listens intently to your account of the terrifying events that have led up to his meeting. As you conclude your woeful tale, Banedon speaks, his voice full of grim determination. "The future of Summerlin rests in our hands, Lone Wolf. We must stop Darklord Zhakan from destroying the Book of the Magna Kai. I have heard tell of the Tomb of Majan from the nomads of the Dry Main. They say it's a terrible place, a place of horror and death for what little there is left to die there. It lies beyond Dahir, near the oasis of Bal Lofton. That is all I know, for the Majan hid their tombs well, and what few traces remained have long since disappeared beneath the shifting sands of the Dry Main." Your face conveys the disappointment you feel upon hearing these words. "However, all is not lost," says Banedon, undaunted. "There is a man who can guide us there. His name is Tipasa Idaruk, Tipasa the Wanderer. It is he who we must seek, for he is the only man who has ever entered the tomb of Majan and lived to tell the tale."
He's gonna be like the cliche anti-hero drunk guy, isn't he?
Probably. Banedon takes over the helm as his extraordinary ship, the Skyrider, as the dwarves call it, speeds through the gathering darkness towards the Dahir Pass. Visibility diminishes with each passing minute, until, finally, you can see no further than the outriggers. You feel uneasy. If the Skyrider veers but a fraction off course, you'll be smashed to pieces against the mountainside. "Do not worry, Lone Wolf," says Nolrim, the dwarf with the velvet satchel. "The captain will see us through." Banedon stands with his hand resting lightly on the glowing crystal, relaxed as if in a trance. His eyes are closed, and a crackle of energy, like fine white lightning, traces an intricate pattern over his forehead and temples. The dwarf leads you to the cabin at the rear of the craft, where the crew are excited, recounting their victory over the Crown Riders. They are seated about a table cluttered with plates of steaming food and jugs of foaming ale.
Like a proper dwarf.
Yeah. The rich smell of spiced meat and boar brew fills your nostrils, reminding you of how ravenously hungry you are. You make short work of the meat and marrow placed before you. Restore 3 endurance points. Not that we needed it. However, you are unsure about accepting a jug of ale. Boar brew is so strong that in many cities of Magnamund, it has been banned for the fear of havoc it can cause. If you wish to accept a jug of the notorious ale, turns 392. If you wish to decline, 283. We're getting drunk, man. We're getting drunk.
Okay. Yeah. Come on. We're with dwarves. They saved our ass. They could have let us die. We can at least get drunk with them.
The ale is thick and creamy, with a taste like malted apples. You lower the half-empty tankard and wipe away the froth from your lips with your sleeve. Pick a number from the random number table. If your current endurance point total is less than 15, deduct 2. If your total is above 25, add 2. If you reach the Kai rank of Savant, add 3. Oh crap, it's going to knock us out. We got plenty of health.
So we got 8.
Yes. The dwarves continue their meal, pausing only to light large hooded pipes. Through the bluish hue of the pipe smoke that clouds the low cabin roof, you notice they are casting nervous glances at you, as if you might explode at any moment. After 5 minutes have passed, Nolrim raises his tankard and proclaims a toast. To Lone Wolf, a man among dwarves. The dwarves guffaw at Nolrim's wry toast and raise their tankards in a salute to your courage and fortitude. The boar brew has loosened their tongues and they are eager to tell you of their past exploits.
I wonder if we rolled low, if we'd actually
probably have lost some
or
endurance
something.
points. Or we might have died actually.
Yeah, like they're actually looking at you like you're about to die. I'm wondering if that was an actual option.
Okay, so you learn that the dwarves were once the crew of a more conventional vessel, a merchantman that sailed the Tentarius of southern Magnamund. The Tentarius is a vast expanse of lakes and land-rock seas, which connect to form a continuous canal stretching nearly 3,000 miles. They were created, as was the Rymerift of Durinor, by a massive landslide. 3 years ago, the dwarf's former captain, a dwarf named Quan, lost his ship, cargo, and crew whilst gambling at cards. It seems the unfortunate captain was unaware of Banedon's true profession until it was far too late. As a result, Banedon became the dwarves' captain, and ever since they have adventured with him across the lands and skies of southern Magnamund. The Skyrider itself was given to Banedon by the magicians of Desi in return for his help in defeating the Gagadoth, a monstrous creature that terrorized their land, over which their own sorcery could not prevail. The Skyrider was travelling from Desi on its way to Barakish when you appeared. The dwarves have overheard your talk with Banedon and are excited by the prospects of a new adventure. They seem undaunted by the deadly dangers that it will certainly involve.
Oh, our dwarf's cool. I can read this one. The fatigue of your ordeal finally catches up with you. You are finding it impossible to keep your eyes open. Nolrim shows you to a bunk in the hull of the Skyrider. Gratefully, you climb into bed and pull the blankets over your aching limbs. Nolrim apologizes that the bunk is too short, but his words fall on deaf ears. You're already asleep. Restore 2 points of endurance for much needed rest. Turn to page 300. Back to you.
You wake shortly after dawn to the sound of snoring dwarves and the low hum of the Skyrider. Gathering your equipment, you climb on deck to find everything in shadow, but the Skyrider is hovering beneath a massive outcrop of sandstone that juts out from the side of a mountain, thousands of feet above the valley floor below. Banedon stands at the helm, but he is no longer in a trance. Kron riders, he says, pointing to the sun-bleached valley beyond the shadows. They arrive with the dawn. You stare out across this alien landscape, a mountain valley filled with pillars of massive and precariously balanced boulders. The Vasagonians call this place the Koos, the Needles. The rocky columns reach so high into the sky that an avalanche seems unavoidable. Perched upon 2 of the columns are Kron, the Drakkar riders scouring the valley with telescopes. An hour passes before they take to the air and disappear. Trim the boom sail, boatswain Nolrim, orders Banedon, his voice barely audible above the increasing hum of the Skyrider. We've a fast run ahead. If you possess a black crystal cube, turn to 229. If you don't have this special item, turn to 247. I think that's a bad item if I'm not mistaken.
It sounds kind of evil.
Yeah.
The Black Crystal Cube.
Can you read?
No.
The voyage through Kus is breathtaking. If at any point you can read, let me know.
Okay.
The voyage through Kus is breathtaking. The Skyrider glides between the towers of rock that rise from the valley floor with fantastic and unearthly grandeur. Far below, sulphurous water bubbles from fissures in the orange ground and streams of hissing lava carve circular channels, which glow like motes of liquid fire. You watch the sky, but there are no signs of the enemy. Here's a weird picture.
That is a weird picture, isn't it?
Yeah, I think these are the needles that they're talking about.
The Koosh. Or Koo.
Yeah, the Kus. Ikaresh, says Banedon pensively. The Eagle's Lair. That is where we will find Tapasa the Wanderer. It is the place of his birth and the home of his family. He roams the dry main, but he always returns to Ikaresh. It is late afternoon when you reach the hills beyond the Kus that overlook the town of Ikaresh. Banedon moors the Skyrider to a pinnacle of stone, and a rope ladder is lowered to the ground. It has been decided that you and he will enter Ikaresh on foot and locate Tapasa, while Nolrim and the crew wait in hiding for you to return. The sight of the Skyrider hovering above the mountain town will be sure to arouse unwanted interest in your arrival. You and Banedon prepare yourselves for your mission by staining your skins with brown kopala berries and dressing in the grey and white robes commonly worn by the mountain people of this region. You bid farewell to Nolrim and set off across the barren hills. Pick a number, 0 to 2 and 3 to 9. Got a 4.
Yay, not 0 to 2.
To be fair, we don't know whether that's a good or a bad option. Usually when it's a single number, that's bad. But with stuff like this...
Yeah, that's why I worried about those 9s earlier.
Yeah. You trudge through the loose red sand, your faces covered to protect them from the dust and the blazing heat. The landscape is stark and desolate. All that seems to thrive here is the wire-hard grass that scratches your boots and leggings. You soon come across a dried riverbed that leads to a cave in the orange sandstone hillside. A wooden plaque is nailed by the mouth of the cave, but you're unable to understand the strange words painted on its sun-blistered surface. If you wish to investigate the cave, turn to 235. If you wish to press onwards towards Ikaresh, turn to 272.
Well, we haven't turned down a little side adventure yet.
Okay.
So might as well investigate the cave.
Kind of feeling bad about this one.
Yeah, your journey ends here. No.
Rows of stalactites hang from the roof of the cave, like the fangs of some incredible monster, and the bubbling of a distant geyser, or geyser. Is it geyser or geyser? Nah, whatever.
I think it's geyser.
Geyser echoes eerily through the unknown depths. You begin to explore, and eventually reach a place where a natural bridge of rock arches over a steaming course of water, red with ore. Huddled beneath the bridge is a pathetic figure, its body bent and emaciated. A tattered blanket covers his face, and in his withered hands he clutches a crude fishing rod. A small catch of lava crabs lies on the bank, their claws twitching as they slowly die. As you move nearer, this figure raises his face to stare at you. It is a man, but the sight of his face shocks you to the core. If you've got healing, turn to 344. If you don't, 208.
Oh my god, let me just kiss this boo-boo on your face real quick.
The old man's face is a mask of putrescent green sores. The pupils of his eyes are yellow, and his ragged grey lips hang in tatters. He suffers from vaxillus, an infectious disease that rots the skin and attacks the nerves, resulting in hideous mutilation and deformity. He has been cast from his community, banished to this cave where he must eke out his last few years of life in misery and solitude. Fucking hell.
Aww,
If you possess some
dude.
Ode Herb and wish to give it to the poor Vaxilla, turn to 321. If you don't have Ode Herb, or you don't wish to give it to this unfortunate wretch, flee the cave. Oh my god.
Aw, poor guy. I'm sorry we didn't find the special item to cure you.
Oh shit. You race along the rock-strewn cave, eager to escape from the infected old man. The horrific stories that you have heard about Vaxillus make you careless in your haste, and you lose 2 items from your backpack. Choose which 2 to erase from your action chart. Well, we've got meals. Let's get rid of them. Meals.
Yeah.
And... guess they were there just to be lost.
Yeah, we can... Oh, we don't have any... Oh, no, we have 1 meal.
Yeah, technically the meal of balance, but doubles as healing. Okay. Once outside the cave, you and Banedon waste no time in pressing on towards Ikaresh. As you near the outskirts of the town, you pass a small round hut where a goat is eating from a manger near the door. A man appears in the darkened doorway and bids you welcome. He touches his forehead in salute of friendship and invites you to enter his humble home. If you have Kai Discipline of 6 cents, 365, you accept his invitation or decline and make your way towards Ikaresh.
God, 6 cents has just been beyond useful.
You sense that the man's show of friendship is genuine. He may be able to help you find Tipasa the Wanderer if you accept his hospitality. Alright, that's settled, let's enter.
Yep.
The man is short of stature, but broad-shouldered and strongly built. Physical characteristics common among the tough mountain dwellers in Vasagonia. He pulls a cork from the bottle of lime green wine and pours 3 large measures into earthenware cups. Kurasha! He claims, and downs the wine in one swift gulp. If you wish to follow his example and drink the strange wine, turns 211. If you don't want to drink the wine, ask him where Tipasa can be found. I mean, if we can handle that beer from before, that ale, we can handle the wine.
That wine ain't shit.
Despite your misgivings, the lime green wine tastes delicious. A warm glow radiates from your stomach, filling you with comfortable sense of well-being. Restore 2 endurance points, not that we needed it. The man looks delighted by your reaction to his wine and offers to sell you a bottle for 5 gold crowns. If you wish to buy a bottle of Korsha, pay the man 5 gold crowns and make a further adjustment. Yes. Finally, the gold coming in clutch. We
haven't been able to buy anything yet. Oh, we get 2 of them and they take up 1 slot? Nice.
And they restore 2 endurance points each. So it's basically a potion.
A lamb spur.
But we can use it sparingly. Like we can use it twice instead of drinking it all in one go. Which is actually better.
Yeah, I like that.
So there's enough to, in the bottle, restore a further 4 endurance points. Got that here. If you wish to question about Tipasa, then 318. If you wish to leave his home, 272. Well, of course, we're going to ask him.
Yeah, where's this dude? We need to know where he is.
Ah, Tipasa, he replies thoughtfully. He lives near the Duga market, but exactly where his home is, I'm not sure. I haven't seen Earl Tipasa for years. If you should find him, remind him of Kamsin the goat herd. He still owes me 12 crowns. That I have not forgotten. You thank the goat herd for his help, and bid him farewell before continuing your trek to Ikaresh. We make a note of this. What did they say? Tipasa me. Kamsin the goat herd. Okay, remember that name. Oh, sorry, he lives near the Duga market. Remember that.
Okay, Duga market.
Ah, hello, right. You follow the path along a dry gully, the bed of an ancient river that once flowed through the mountains. An arid breeze blows eddies of red dust along the banks of the dead earth. The white-walled buildings of Ikaresh suddenly appear, and as the dust settles, you find yourself standing in a small square, close to the open archway of the town's east gate. Perched upon the tall basalt monolith in the center of the square is an eagle, the emblem of this mountain town, cast in bronze. 3 bronze arrows are held in its beak, each indicating an exit from the square. If you wish to go north towards the Duga market, west towards the main square, or south along the avenue in Eagles. Let's save at this point.
Well, I kind of want to go to the main square just because maybe we'll find something cool to buy, but what are we gonna buy? I mean, we're pretty damn decked out. Maybe we'll find another special item or something. I don't know.
You soon enter the public square.
I can read this. Yep. Where a throng of men have gathered at the ruins of a fountain. They are listening to the frenzied speech of a man dressed in red from head to toe. Each man in the crowd is wearing a strip of the same colored cloth, which covers the lower half of his face. They are Aduka, the Veiled Ones, says Banedon nervously. It sounds as if they are declaring a blood feud on their old enemies, the Men of Tefa! You follow Banedon to the shelter of the Toa tree, where you will be less conspicuous. The speaker is denouncing the Tefa for imposing a heavy tax for safe passage through their town, and for use of the highway to Kara. His rantings begin to stir the crowd to a fever pitch. Suddenly, he points to where you stand and shrieks, "Tefarim spies!"
Dude, man.
If you...
Oh my god. He got no fucking teeth.
This is the guy that gets shot by Indiana Jones, isn't it?
Alright.
If you want to try to reason with the crowd of Scream fanatics that are now running towards you with their swords drawn, turn to that page. If you wish to follow Banedon's example or run for your life, go there.
Yeah, sure, I'm gonna reason with a mob. Fuck no.
Yeah, we would just end up killing a bunch of innocent people.
Remember when that happened last time?
Yeah. I can read this. It takes over an hour to shake off the Aduka, by which time you have been chased through most of Ikaresh. Had it not been for Banedon's timely casting of Spell of Illusion, they would be after you still. You cannot help but laugh when you picture their faces when they saw the Kalkoth leaping at them. Thank the gods they did not think to question how a Kaltha ice beast came to be roaming the streets of their town. When you have fully recovered from the chase, you leave the narrow alley in which you have been hiding and press on in search of Tapisa, the Wanderer. I can read this one too. You pass under an arch where two brass-gilded conical towers gleam like gold and enter a marketplace crowded with squabbling merchants. Exotic carpets, brightly colored material, and all manners of food are being bought, sold, and haggled over. The north side of the marketplace is devoted to the auction of dugas. The sleek but noisy desert beasts are being paraded for the benefit of the bidders around a paddock adjoining their stables. Just past the stables, a street vanishes into the carpet weaver's quarter of Ikaresh. If you wish to investigate the stables, go there. If you wish to ask one of the merchants if they know where Tapisa lives, go there. If you wish to leave the marketplace and continue along the adjoining street, go there.
Well, we are in the Duga Market.
I need a minute. I'm gonna say either investigate the stables or ask where Tapasa is. Tipsa.
Do we want some goodies? Or do we want to just get to Tapasa?
I do like goodies. Goodies are pretty cool. I can read this. As you enter the stables, you are overpowered by the smell of the dugas. You grit your teeth and cover your nose with your robe. A small boy sniggers at your reaction and says, "It's a word."
Oh, what is it now? Oh shit! I'll mute that fucking.
Demon it. No, I'm just fucking. You're not Ikarashi. I can tell. He mimics your grimace, exposing a line of broken teeth. Do you know where Tapasa the Wanderer lives? Asked Banedon, holding up a silver ring. The boy's eyes nearly pop out of his head at the sight of the gleaming silver. Oh, yes, I do indeed, he stammers in his excitement. Walk up the street and take the first passage to your left. The old wanderer lives at the house with the blue door. Banedon flicks the ring into the air and the urchin catches it in his grubby hands. You hurry away from the stables and begin to search for the passageway. Just as you find it, you hear the young boy shriek with disappointment. The ring has just dissolved on his finger. Oh,
what a dick!
Yeah,
man.
Get tricked by a wizard, bitch. At the end of the rubbish-strewn alley, you find a house with the blue door.
Honestly, that's a bit fucked up, you know.
That is fucked up. You can get this one. I'll try to get the next one.
There is no reply to your first knock. You're about to knock again when the door opens a few inches, and the red-rimmed eyes of an old woman stare out from the darkness. "Banedon!" she exclaims, her voice hoarse and shaky. "Thank the gods it's you!" She ushers you both inside and locks the door. The house is sparsely furnished, and what little there is either damaged or broken. "They've taken him, Banedon. They've taken my husband, the men with the faces of the dead. 10 days ago, they came like shadows of the night." She breaks down, her frail body racked by sobs. Banedon comforts her as best as he can, but you sense he shares her bitter loss. The Drukhariim have taken Tipasa. Of that there is little doubt. By now they will have made him tell everything he knows about the Tomb of Majan. We'll find him, I promise, says Banedon, wiping the tears from the old woman's face. But you must try to help us if you can. Tipasa always kept a diary of his travels. Do you have it still? A flicker of hope shines in the old woman's eyes. Yes, it's here. He told me to hide it when the evil men came for him. She kneels at an empty fireplace and prizes a loose brick from the chimney. A leather-bound book drops from the hiding place into her hand. She gives it to Banedon, who studies the yellowed pages, his face lined in thought. You notice that the book is full of cryptic symbols, numbers and pictograms. They are drawn by the night stars, says Banedon, tracing his finger along the astronomical drawings. They hold the secret, I know, but without my star charts we cannot hope to find the tomb. We must return to the Skyrider at first light. There I shall be able to make some sense of this book.
Yes, acquired knowledge and ability to find something. You have little sleep that night as you lie thinking about the quest that lies before you, haunted by the fear that the Dark Lords may already have found the Book of Magnakai. You rise before dawn, and breakfast on a meal of sheep's butter and dried milk cake. Before bidding farewell to Tipasa's wife, the trek back to the Skyrider passes uneventfully. And by noon, you have reached the rocky crag where the craft is moored. Noram is the first to greet you, but he cannot hide his disappointment that you have returned unaccompanied. Do not worry, the answer lies here, says Banedon, holding up Tipasa's diary. Prepare to set sail! As the Skyrider rises into the clear blue sky, Banedon holds hands over the helm to Noram and bids you to follow him to his quarters at the prow. For 3 hours, he pores over his chart. That pores is not spelled right. Doesn't pores have like a U in it?
That's if you're pouring a liquid. Pores in this case is like investigates or like scans over.
I thought there was a U in that too.
No. This is more like pores in porous. That kind of a pour.
Okay. He pores over his charts, making calculations, checking instrument readings, and racking his brain for the solution that will pinpoint the Tomb of Majan. It's no use, he says, tired and exasperated. I cannot fathom these numbers. As you peer at the pages of Tipasa's diary, suddenly you realize that they are written in code. What Banedon has assumed to be positions of stars is a code to 3 numbers that will give the precise location of the tomb. Consult the map to help you discover the location of the Tomb of Majan. The first 3 numbers is equal to the number of oases on the trail between Ikarash and Bir Rabalu. The second number is equal to the number of cities in Vasagonia. The third number is equal to the number of islands off the coast of Cape Radabar. When you have broken the code, write the numbers in order and turn to that entry number they indicate. To solve this puzzle, you would need to use the map of the Empire of Vasagonia with the code's instructions in mind before coming back to this section. The section corresponding to the correct answer will have a footnote confirming that it is indeed the correct answer. If you did not see this footnote at the bottom, you have chosen the wrong section. Come back to this section, reconsider the code, and make your selection again. Repeat the process until you turn to the correct section. There is no alternate way to proceed through the adventure.
Okay, so at this point, I think we're going to end the episode because we've reached the hour mark. So next time, we're going to try to solve this puzzle by consulting the map. And it should be fairly simple. It tells us what to look out for. We just got to do some counting. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And next time, we'll do a bit of investigating. Take care.
Take care, everybody. Well, bye-bye.